Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of PixlFeed Radio, episode 12 with my friend Donald Wilson. Dude, I'm so excited to have you here. You have no idea. So many questions. Like I've been wanting to talk to you for such a long time. For those of you that don't know who Donald is, Don, what should we call you, Don or Donald for this
Works,
thing?
man. Don works, Donald works, whatever.
So he owns a little company called Gearbubble, which is a platform for e-com. So, dude, it's amazing how much you have grown that thing since, I met you. I'm just like amazed by it. So, I mean, I'm sure people want to learn about it. People that don't know. A lot of people who are watching this don't know much about e-com and stuff like that. So, but you've been around a lot longer than I have. See, I've been having people that I looked up to when I was learning. So it's like, so it's amazing to me. Like, dude, you were at the beginning of the gold rush. Like you were there. I mean, I don't know if this is correct or not, but I think was it you that created one of the first Facebook ad courses, crash courses back in the day when Facebook became public?
Yeah, I did a $1 million launch, and we did like $1.4 million in a week in sales. And we were teaching how to do Facebook traffic. And then we found Teespring after that, and we kind of started the print on demand. This has been print on demand was completely new. It was a totally new topic.
Yeah.
And we did, I don't know how much we did in sales for them, but I did $1 million on my course. We taught many, many people to make their first shirt sale, first 100, first 1,000 sales. And that company turned into at one point like a $600 million company from the advertising that we did. So it was a kind of a perfect mixture. We got in there early. It was right before e-com got hot. I found print on demand on accident and kind of like this nice little perfect storm of early adoption. And then the whole industry just like took off.
I found it by accident. I found e-com, not e-com, but like, print on demand and like Facebook ads. It was a post that somebody made, and it was like, I can't wait to what these guys put out next. And I was like, what? Like this guy, like, what is he talking about? And then I did my rabbit hole, through posts and links, and I came across a course, and that was it, man. I was hooked after that. It changed my life, obviously, but
that's kind of the same thing happened with me too. Oddly enough, my first course is something that I found on the Warrior Forum way back in the day, probably like 11, 12 years ago, from a guy named Simple Spencer. And it was called like 1 Penny Clicks. And that's where I learned how to do Facebook. And then I got so good at it over the years. Eventually I started teaching it, and we exploded after that. All because I did like this Google search at one point, like Twitter software, which led me to the Warrior Forum, which led me to this one night where I bought this $10 course, and I actually put it into action like some, know any better, and it worked. And I was like, wow, there's all these fans. So it was just a rabbit hole night for me as well.
So before we get into Gearbubble and all that stuff, which is a platform for e-com where print on demand, necklaces, shirts, mugs, everything. It's awesome. Tell me the story, man. So what were you doing before you like came into this whole world? And you just told me like how you found the first one, but like because I think everybody just kind of stumbles into it at some point. That's what happened. A lot of people that I talk to, that's how it happens. So like, what were you doing? Because I mean, the level that you're at right now, I mean, for a long time, it's like, it has to be mind blowing. Like, where were you before, you found all this stuff? Like, what were you doing?
I was a debt collector, just working a normal job, dude. I don't think that I'm not nothing special, dude. I just worked really, really hard, and it took a lot of risk.
So you were one of those guys calling people, asking to pay their bills? Oh my God, I can't even imagine what that's like.
Not the funnest job in the world, calling people that hate you every single day about bills they don't have money for.
That had to be miserable, right? Like,
no, it was super happy. No, it was miserable. There was nothing fun about it, which is why I stayed up till like 2 or 3 in the morning trying to learn how to, make a better life for myself with internet marketing.
Right.
So, that's kind of where I came from. I was working a full-time job as a debt collector, going to school full-time at night. And then like after that, just a little side hustle, starting things up. When I didn't have much money, that was back when I was like spending like $20 on a course or $40 on a course, trying it out. That's why I think it was like a $5 ad course, because that appealed to me. I was a full-time student working every day. If it had been like a $5,000 budget course, I would have waved it goodbye. They would have never had a shot. So that's what, I don't have any corporate experience. I have no experience with running companies before all that. I was a debt collector and kind of found my way through a course and info product, put it into action, got it to work. And then my first successes really were I built up a really big Facebook Pitbull page and a couple other dog niche pages. And I was
So
basically
that's why you always use that example for everything. I noticed for like
yeah,
Gearbubble and stuff like that.
I've been selling in the dog market for a decade now. The first thing I used to sell was CPA offers. There was a pet photo contest from Max Bounty. I don't know if you know my affiliate manager back then was Adam Maltis. I don't know if you know Adam, but Adam later became the affiliate manager for Shopify. I knew Adam before e-commerce was even hot. So it was like, here's Facebook.
Hold on, what year is this? This had to be 2000.
This is 10 years ago. This is
okay.
2010. And then we went from Facebook like campaigns to CPA offers to print on demand to drop ship from China to many different products of print on demand to box offers to current day doing POD on marketplaces. And it's kind of evolved in steps from where Facebook used to evolve it from spamming in the news feed to pay to play. Then it went from POD products to Shopify came in and made drop shipping really, really hot. Then POD got seasoned enough to where we started selling stuff on Amazon, Etsy, and eBay with print on demand. And it kind of went through this wave from not knowing anything to Facebook blew up into this big beast and kind of changed everything. Because where we really found this huge hole that started as print on demand was Facebook would come out with a feature. Like you could target people that were interested in pit bulls.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
So we would make a design first with the targeting in mind. And that's kind of what changed everything is because we understood Facebook so well that we were just making print on demand designs. Normally, before all that, you had to buy from China, forecast, your stuff may not sell, you wouldn't know how to drive the traffic. We flipped it completely and we said, all right, well, we already know how to drive the traffic. So let's figure that part out first. And then we're going to create a product for the traffic. And after that, hundreds of millions of dollars in sales later, I built my own platform. My own platform was a lot longer story. Basically,
I was going to ask you, it's like, so how do we go? Because, okay, so when I was coming up, this was at the, I want to say like the middle tail end of the Shopify gold rush, I guess you could call it, with Facebook ads, where you could just do anything and it would sell, right?
2015.
And I thought I knew it all at that point, and now I look back, I'm like, shit. If I knew what I know now back then, it would have been such a different journey. You know what I mean? It's just like, and that's what I keep telling people. It's like, don't stop learning because you think you know it all right now, and then 5 years down the road, you're gonna look back. It's like, I didn't know shit. You know what I mean? I mean, that's the experience with me.
I learn all the time. I learn new lessons. Unfortunately, with 2020. Fucking weekly.
Yeah.
2020 has really shown any hole in anybody's company that's happened. But I'll explain the gap. So I don't know how much you know about it, but basically I went from being the #1 affiliate for Teespring, selling a whole bunch of stuff for shirts, and I was like, guys, you should add mugs. You should add an upsell. Typical stuff that someone that used Optimized Press knows about. I was like, add an upsell, add related products, add other products, add jewelry, and they didn't do any of it. And basically, at one point, I got sued by Facebook.
You did? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'll give you a story here.
Dude, I got to hear this.
So basically, I promoted somebody else's product that was a software that scraped UIDs because we were doing name campaigns like Team Wilson.
Yeah, and then I did that too.
I promoted the software, and I had a really big name at the time and a big face, and they put my face all over the sales page because it made it convert better.
All right.
Great. I made money. In the end, I lost a lot of money. So Facebook sent me a legal letter one day and sent my fiance, at that time my girlfriend, a legal letter, banned both of our accounts. We had to hire a team of 6 attorneys. I had to shut down my entire Facebook advertising company. I wasn't even allowed to say the word Facebook, use facebook.com, or mention this software, anything that I could talk to you now. 9 months of legal lawsuits later, $260,000 legal bill and several $100,000 settlement. I was bored also at the same time. So that's when I built Gearbubble. I had the biggest shit fest in my life sent to me about a product that wasn't even mine. And the guy that actually made it never had anything happen to him. So I was like, I'm getting sued over someone else's product, losing my other company. And in the meantime, I think just to keep my sanity, I built this other company. Because I had no intention of originally building it, but Teespring wasn't making the things I wanted. I didn't have anything else to do. I had just moved from Kansas to Vegas The day I moved away from my friends and family and everyone, I got sued from Facebook and lost all my social connection with everyone.
Oh my God, dude, I can't even imagine.
So
Like,
that
I almost had a heart attack when my first business manager went down with like a
yeah,
bunch of accounts. Like, I can't even
that's not
imagine like getting a letter from Facebook saying you're getting sued. I mean, my wife's a lawyer, so I guess I got the hook up there, but come
no.
on, it's Facebook, dude. They have like the best lawyers in the world. You know?
Yeah. It's not. It's like there's a couple companies you don't want to get a lawsuit letter from because
No.
you just can't do anything if they want to beat you because they'll just money you out to where you'll just nothing.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
I mean, it was odd because Facebook was judge, jury, and executioner. We didn't end up going all the way through legal. We talked to their team. I think that their legal team just needed to prove that they were working, and they proved it. And we went through the processes. It was very character building, and I came out the other side with a company like Gearbubble. We've done $100 million in sales in my own company now, built out of a crazy character building experience. So that's kind of my story.
That's amazing, man. So I was gonna ask you, like, what flipped the switch to like, create Gearbubble? So, but why? I guess you could call it. I guess you could call it white label. I guess you could call it white label or vendor for people who do this. Like, you just saw the opportunity of like, well, I know all these people need all this stuff and I can get it made. Like, did you have people that already were making it that you were working with? And you said, hey guys, why don't we just start making it for other people and I'll run the whole, create the software and run everything.
I saw the hole in the market is that, listen, I'm teaching people. We had already sold $100 million in shirts with me and my sellers at that point with Teespring. I'm like, obviously, guys, I know what the hell I'm doing, or this wouldn't have been this successful. So why don't you take my word for it and add an upsell? Like, there were a very funded Silicon Valley company that thought they could do no wrong. Same thing as when you're early and you think you know that you're everything, and then you look back later after your company's done this or you've had an experience, you're like, oh, wow, I didn't know anything.
Right.
And I didn't know how hard it was going to be to build the other side. I thought I was the king of the world with all this marketing expertise, which I was very good at sales. So it was a very humbling experience going the other direction as well, because they wouldn't do upsells. They wouldn't do new products. They wouldn't do the things that were obvious to me. But then when I got on the other side, I was like, wow, this supply chain stuff is really hard. No wonder nobody wanted to add an extra product. This shit's really difficult.
Right,
So,
right.
it was kind of born out of the fact that I knew if we were selling this much in shirts, we could sell mugs, we could sell jewelry, we could sell all these other products, which, as you saw by that happening over a 3 or 4 year period, was correct. All that opportunity was there. So everything I knew that it was like, you're a marketer, you know that upsells work. It's not rocket science. Like, no. You know an upsell works. That's the level of obviousness of a hole that was there. Was if you guys aren't even adding upsells, like, you're just clearly not listening to the people.
Well, it's like the one that drives me nuts the most. I mean, I guess Shopify is one of your competitors. Like, how does Shopify not have an upsell on the card page before you charge the credit card? Like, it's such, like, to me, it drives me insane. Like, it's so, you got to, like, if you want to do it, it happens after the purchase is made. And then you got to add all this clunky funnels to it. And it's a pain in the ass. You know what I mean?
You want to do it. I mean, the thing is with Shopify, they could literally build every app that is in their app marketplace, but then people would stop building app companies built in their backyard. So it's kind of like, if you looked at Shopify's revenue, they make a significant portion from the apps. Because, I mean, how many stores are out there with tons of apps installed that have never made a sale? A lot.
Yeah, a lot.
So a lot of it, like, it's obvious, like, Shopify could do that in probably 2 hours if they wanted to. They just didn't want to cut out their app developers. So it's frustrating. You're like, why don't you do this obvious thing, you big beast of stupidity? And then you're like, oh, okay, there is a reason. It's you don't want to cut off your app companies. I get it.
So, and the other crazy, okay, so Gearbubble, it's crushing it. I mean, it keeps growing. I mean, I keep up with everything you do. So it's like, I see it growing and growing and growing. Now, where do you think the future is with everything that's going on right now? And like, especially with like the shipping times from China and all that, do you think that we're going to start getting like more warehouses from Chinese manufacturers here in the US? Or do you think more people are going to start manufacturing here? What's your take on that?
I mean, it's already been more USA driven over the last probably 2 years because Facebook, when it was more the Wild Wild West and you can get away with really crappy delivery times and high margins on shipped products, and you thin out the margins on shipping using e-packet that's built by a loophole in the system, like, it was all for seller gain and 0% for customer experience. And
Right.
I took advantage of it as well. I sold a ton of stuff from China, and I e-packed it over.
So I started.
And we had some good reviews. We had some bad reviews. But now in the USA, it's all great reviews. The margins aren't quite as much in the seller favor, but it's getting harder for the new person to do things, and it's getting easier for the seasoned person, because once you have that data and you can show that you have the customer experience in the good half of Facebook, Facebook rewards you heavily. There's no doubt about it.
Right.
New users can still do well, okay, but if you start at any point in your journey screwing up your pixel with like really poor scores, you're done. You're done. You're out. So I think the market of where we at least sell on Facebook, which is where most people sell, has changed just because Facebook cleaned it up a bit. And it's not because China's bad. It was because everything that was in that system was based on a poor experience for the customer.
Yeah. No, and I agree with that. Like, I just went through it like 2 years ago where I was like, I had an idea for a brand, but I was like, all right, I got to test it first. So I found this manufacturer over there, and of course they lied about how many they have, because I'm like, listen, I'm going to scale, and I'm going to scale hard. How many do you have in stock? Oh, we got plenty. We got this much, blah, blah. I'm like, listen to me. Like, when I open the floodgates, you need to be able to, no, don't worry. We got it. We got this many. Here's pictures. Here's the rest. Sure enough, you know how it works when you open the floodgates, and then next thing you know, they lie to me. You know, even though that you know what you're doing, you're trying to, like, you know, avoid those issues. I got screwed. I mean, you know, it sucks. So that's why, like your platform, you know,
that's why we exist. That's
yes.
why we exist.
Yeah. So if you're thinking about starting, you know, into e-com and, you know, print them, I think you should be personalized right now. I think where you want to be, where you want to stand out, it's personalized stuff like mugs, shirts, whatever, POD, where you can differentiate yourself a little bit, right?
Personalized mugs are on fire right now, because they're low dollar too. Like a consumer can get it for $19.95 plus shipping. I think with the craziness in the economy right now, having something that's lower priced that can still be for a gift is great. I've seen like blankets and stuff drop down a little bit. It's starting to get warmer out in the States. I think they're a little higher price. The jewelry is still going okay, but any of our like higher price jewelry is coming down a little because people just don't want to spend $70 on a consumer good that much. They'll still spend it. It still happens, but it's like 50 and below. 50 and below is kind of where it's at right now. That kind of makes sense. So it's hard to say where things are going to go. But I think the cheap products are really important right now. The mug sales are on fire, but that happens every time Mother's Day and Father's Day come near. Mugs just absolutely erupt because it's like a $20 to $25 gift.
And your wife has a course for Amazon, right? For mugs. Yeah, I think I've seen that too.
Dude, she kills it. Sometimes, like, usually as it gets really close to Mother's Day, Father's Day season, she's got a couple mugs that rank really, really well. She'll pull in like 600 to 800 sales a day organically.
Oh, shit. Like, I wouldn't.
She's a beast, man. She's a beast at it.
So, okay, well, I mean, I know, I guess it's research. I mean, a lot of that is research. You got to research the designs, make it your own, get a design and all that stuff. Like, so if people want to use your platform, because I know you don't have that much time left, but all right, so let's talk about Gearbubble. So if people are looking to get into the game right now, where do you think the market's shifting in the next couple of years? What do you think Gearbubble fits? And, you know, where do you think people should get started right now so they can get, you know, maybe on the next uptrend, you know, wave where they can cash in?
I think it's what you said mixed with something a little different. So you talked about personalization. Personalization is big and it's huge. It's products made quickly in the USA that never could have existed before. Like, you know, I survived the 2020 toilet paper crisis, the year that shit got real. The stuff that's selling right now big is personalized. Like, there's a graduation mug on our platform that's just destroying it. And it's like a 2020 mug, and it's got over the zeros, it has a mask, because that's kind of what we're dealing with right now. Right. And it's a product that could not have ever existed before because none of this ever happened before. So that's why I think POD is starting to shine a lot more, because you can get those products made quickly, fast, and you can still hit trends. So if you do personalized products, you're playing to the nature of what works well with print on demand. Products that they couldn't get made, products that couldn't exist in a retail store, those are still innovative, and they're going to be innovative for years and years and years to come. So I would say take personalization. If you're going to jump into any backyard, that's the backyard to jump into. And then take trends that you know are going to come, because no matter what's going on with the pandemic or anything that's going crazy, Mother's Day is still going to happen. Father's Day is still going to happen. Christmas season is still going to happen. People are still going to buy gifts for brothers, sisters, aunts, moms, dads, all those type of things. So if I had to push you anywhere, I would say sell family market gifts that are pretty cheap, that are based on holidays that are going to happen no matter what. And personalization is really good because it's things that just could not have existed on a shelf before, where it's like a mom and their daughter's name on the bottom of a mug or on the side of the mug. You can't buy that in a store. It's super unique. You can't get it from China because you got to forecast volume and buy in advance. So you're kind of in this small little sector, especially like one of the mugs I'm selling right now. I don't remember the exact phrase.
I love that you still sell stuff. You have your confidence, but you're still selling stuff. I love that.
I got to stay fresh, because if I don't, then I don't know what technology to make. I don't know what's trending. I don't know how to stay up, because like we're making some personalization tech right now based on things I see selling in the market, which helps people sell more stuff. So like one of the ones we're selling is a dog mom mug. It says, "Dear dog mom, thanks for being my dog mom. If I had a different dog mom, I would eat her quarantine snacks, piss on her toilet paper, and come find you. Love, dog's name." So it's trending, it's personalized, it's for Mother's Day, and it's based on things that are going on in today's current market. So it's selling really, really well because it's trending.
Yeah, let me ask you something though. So since you get to see all this data on your end, and maybe it'll help some people that are watching or listening to this. So like I always wanted to do like just a generic like POD store, you know, besides like my brand or whatever. But so what kind of CPAs are you seeing on like, you know, brand new stores, brand new accounts with Facebook ads? Like if you're selling a necklace for $14.99, right? Are you seeing that they're able to sell them at let's say with a CPA of 7 starting out or something like that, and then they have upsells in place to make up for the average order value? Like, what are you seeing on the data?
It depends on the product, because mugs are a little more classic than a jewelry piece. And jewelry, when it sells well, it sells really well. But jewelry is a little bit higher dollar, so the conversion rate is a little bit lower just due to the nature of the price. So the CPA is a little bit higher. But the margins on jewelry, they're sick. They're great. So they're very great for paid traffic for scaling. So jewelry is a good place to be. The CPA on a mug is going to be lower just because the price is lower, so the conversion rate is higher by nature. So a really hot mug is going to be at like 10 or 11% conversion rate, but that's going to vary based on if you're doing USA traffic, doing worldwide traffic, doing any of those different things. So it's all subjective, but you know, it's not going to be the same margin as if you're drop shipping a product from China, but the return value on a customer is going to be extremely higher.
The lifetime value.
Yeah. Lifetime value is going to be really high. So you're probably going to make like $3 or $4 per sale profit on a good product that's selling like 100+ units a day. That's probably what you're going to look for on the margin. If it's super trending, maybe more. If you're reaching more of a maturity phase, I don't want to get too far into it, or your product's not new, or you were 3rd to market or 4th to market, it might be a little less. If your product's not selling well and it's not going to work out, maybe you'll break even, lose a little bit of money. So it's hard to give an exact amount because each product's going to have different margins, different CPAs. But I'd say you mostly want to base it on the conversion rate. So if you're doing USA-based traffic, you're doing like a Mother's Day mug or something similar, like a cat mom or a dog mom or a mother-in-law or a bonus mom, things like that. I'd say look for about 10 or 11% conversion rate for a super hot winner, which will get you anywhere from like $8 cost per purchase up to like $18. And your margin for a mug is anywhere from like 14 to 20, depending on what you price it at. So if that gives you a little bit of idea of the profitability scale. If you're scaling really hard and doing more volume, it might thin a little. But we sell very broad products. Like a gift from mom can sell to literally every single person that's in the country. So the cost, like the conversion rate stays high at a very large scale because the product is so broad. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And this is when you got to look at the what's the word I'm looking for? At the whole, farther ahead, the whole picture. You're not just selling a mug. You're acquiring a client who goes into your email list, which the money's on the list. I tell people all the time in this channel, the money's on the list. And then you can get more sales out of them later down the road if you back end is set properly with like emails and, you know, retargeting ads and new products and all that good stuff. So,
I mean, it's really simple with the season that's coming up right now. You sell a Mother's Day product, you sell the same product with a different, it says, "Dear Dog Dad." Next month, you're going to sell it for Father's Day to the same person. You know, they're going to buy it. They're going to buy the next one that's trending. It's not even rocket science on what to sell next if you hit those holidays. It's like stocks with rolling trends, except for you can depend on Mother's Day and Father's Day showing up. So you kind of know what to buy and what to sell and when to sell it. That's the key on making things work no matter what happens with the market, is you have to know what's selling, what's hot. I mean, I don't sell masks, but obviously it's a hot product. But you couldn't have predicted that though.
I've got hit up by a few vendors. Hey, I got masks. I was like, no.
Imagine if you knew in advance. You know Mother's Day is coming.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Is I'm saying that the key is having a hot product. If you sell masks right now, don't do it. But if you did, it would probably work because it's that hot. If you sell Mother's Day products when Mother's Day is coming, it's probably going to work because it's going to be that hot. So it takes a little bit of the guesswork out of, am I promoting something that's trending, because you know it's going to trend.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I know we're out of time, so I don't want to keep you in here, but where can people find you, man? And let's talk about the platform. You know, where they can go to try it out, to get an account, all that good stuff.
Just check us out at gearbubble.com. You can find anything we have there. We have a Gearbubble Classic. We have a Shopify competitor. We have Amazon integrations, eBay integrations, Etsy integrations. Anything you need for e-commerce, especially if it has to do with print on demand, it's all there. Just check us out.
I'll put everything in the link. Everybody, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. And I'll see you guys the next time. Thank you.